Gotcha! That is one big mosquito. Hello everyone and welcome to the recap review. Today we're going to be looking at the Mistika Makuta. From left to right we have set number 8694 Krika, 8695 Gorast, and 8696 Bittel. Also from left to right, Krika contains approximately 40 pieces, Gorast approximately 51, and Bittel approximately 54. They were all released in the summer of 2008, and at time of release were approximately $13. Alright, so here we have them, the menacing Makuta Mistika, and they're all kind of bugs. So we're going to go ahead and start off with a disclaimer and get that out of the way. Just because a pro or a con is in this video does not explicitly mean it is my opinion. I do my best to keep these reviews as objective as possible, and as such, all opinions and viewpoints are taken from the community, either during the time of their release or over the years since their release. Just because a pro or con is here, again, doesn't mean it's my opinion. So unless I say so, please do not assume that it is. Is that good? Cool. Let us go ahead and get right into the review, and we'll cover a few things that they all share. So, first of all, they're all unique builds. I can't even call them all standard Inika builds because the only one that uses the Inika torso is Gorast. Bittel, you could call him kind of a modified Inika build because he does use the same leg system. However, his torso, uniquely enough, he is an Avtorn torso. So, it's kind of cool. Yeah. We'll get into that a little bit more later. Some of the major con here, and I've been failing to mention this in my reviews as of late because repetition is not exactly my strong suit, or at least I hope it's not, is that their joints are brittle. As you can see here, they're using the new mold, the new socket mold, and that causes all their joints to be quite fragile. So I would not advise mocking with these pieces. They're not good for it. They will break under a few uses. Another con is that with two of them, they do not have elbow articulation, or knee articulation, depending which. Because they're using the Avtorn arm, they can't move them. So there is that. They do have articulation in other ways, however. There's standard hand articulation. Gorast is this neat little leg articulation. She's also got wings. Krika has a shoulder-mounted cannon, which is really cool. Bittel has his, well, Bittel's fine as far as articulation. He has the standard amount, 3 in the legs, 3 in the arms, and actually 2 in the head, considering he has a longer neck. So, let's go over recolors real fast. Well, actually, I don't think there are very many. I believe Krika has the Avtorn limbs new in black, this version of the limb. Krika, Bittel definitely has these Rakshi legs new in yellow. The torso, I don't believe that's new in black. I got the Shadow Matorn right next to me. No, torso's not new in black. Actually, there's not a whole lot of new recolors. There are recolors of pieces we have. For instance, no, that's a new piece. Man, this is not working out in my favor. There really are not a whole lot of new recolors, but there are a lot of new pieces. So for any recolors I missed, feel free to let me know. Just don't swarm me with with information. So the new pieces we have, they are copious. Obviously, now if we have the new wave pieces, such as this kind of shield piece up here, we get 2 of them on Bittel, and they're comprising his wings. We have his new mask, the Motrek, the mask of time manipulation? No, it's not time manipulation. It's basically he brings clones of himself from the past to fight for him in the present. We also have the claw piece. That's on Bittel's legs, Gorast's hands, and it's not on Krika at all. We have this new foot piece, and that comes in 2 colors, a silver on Bittel and a melding of black and green on Gorast. We get 4 of those on Gorast. We also have this new blade piece. It's a really large blade piece, and we'll see that in the future for sure. But Bittel debuts it, and he has 2 of them. I'm pretty sure that these kind of Mata arms are not new in yellow. It might have come in a throwbot. Gorast, obviously we have the one of the wave pieces. We have these two claws, and they're in silver, and I already mentioned those. We have her mask, and I forget what the mask is called. It's the Felnaz, but I don't remember what its power is. It sucks light out of people like a shadow leech, but I don't know the official term. And most notably with her, we have these pieces. Now, these are some of the rare translucent, and I hope you can see this. I probably won't even brighten this video up, because we already have Krika here, and these wings. They're transparent, clear transparent, but they're also really nicely textured. They're meant to be mosquito wings, and they're all bugs. Bittel's a beetle, Gorath's a mosquito, and Krika's a mantis, I think. But they're really nicely textured, very, very coarse, almost like sandpaper, but only on this inside here, and it's really cool. It's got this really almost 3D effect. It looks great in person. Now, Krika also has a lot of new pieces, and he looks really intimidating. First of all, he has that chest piece there, and then from Onua in white. He also has these giant long claw pieces. Now, he comes with a whopping 4 of them. As you can see, they're just really, really big, and because he combines 2 of them, and they look skeletal and evil and really cool. He's also got the Crass, the Mask of Repulsion, and that also fits the theme nicely. It looks very skeletal. He also has these 2 giant blade pieces here, following the same color scheme, which is really neat. I believe the new hand mold is new in white. I don't think we got any of those in Kopaka, so that might be a new recolor. And obviously now for all of them, we have the Ninra Ghost Blaster. And the 2 recolored pieces here, aside from the Toa Nuva, are the red kind of pump, and then the lime green ammunition. It works really well for Gorath, not so well for the other 2. So I think that generally covers it. Let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty. So, Gorath's issues are as follows. She's got a lot of arms, however, none of them can really pose well. It's a good thing she has all those arms, because when she can pose them, you know, that's nice, it's cool. But none of them have any sort of articulation. She does have articulation in her legs, so she can take a few menacing poses, but again, all the arms are static. Now, Gorath does have the standard articulation in her neck, or at least standard for the Makuta, and she does have some extra articulation in her legs. So that really works. She does have the blaster and the Ninra Ghost Blaster. I'm going to demonstrate it first here. You know, it's air-powered. That's generally all you need to do. It works very well. This is an improved version of the Kodak ammunition. So, the interesting thing about Gorath, not necessarily isn't her look, but it's her mask. It's made out of rubber. It's kind of flexible. It's kind of interesting. Like, it's the only one like it. It's kind of like an Anika mask, but it really does work for her. So Gorath is kind of interesting. She doesn't have a lot of great articulation. The build isn't anything out of this world, obviously. And her color scheme, aside from the red and the blue pins on the torso, it's relatively fine. It's rather consistent. She is supposed to be the green villain of the year, which is why we have Mutran. So that's Gorath. There's not a whole lot to talk about her. Now we have Bittel. Now, Bittel is supposed to be the beetle. And he does pull that look off rather well. Obviously, we have the kind of stag beetle pincers right there. His mask, it's interesting. It's a solid mask, although it has an unusual connection. It's because of the shape of the mask. You have the axle here, and the only way you get eyes is via Borak eyes. It's even connected to a Vaki head, which is really, really unique, but really, really odd. His wings are really great because they can kind of fold up, be a beetle shell, so that looks really great. He's got a lot of posability thanks to the fact that he has normal arms and legs. His proportions, of course, are horrible, at least if you're going off of human proportions. He's got his 4 arms, he's got his 2 arms, he's got his 2 legs. He's got some spikes. The yellow does work since it's, the yellow and red do work, so red axles are not really an issue here, although the green might be. Granted, his mask, the melding on the mask isn't that great. It's yellow and black, and it kind of melds in the middle to make this kind of off-green, I suppose. So it's kind of unusual. The swords are really cool looking, and they're very long. But it's very interesting, because any concern for back armor, it's done. Some people may not like the silver, but he does have a lot of great posability. Blue pins are there, and they're kind of meh. But overall, this set is, it's rather neat. There's not a lot to him, but he is just rather cool. He does have that kind of air of cool. So that's really Bittle. Let's go ahead and finish this off with Krika. Now, Krika here, he is the largest by far. He just looks imposing, intimidating. He's got a lot of new pieces. He's got a very unique color scheme. He melds red and white and kind of transparent, and it really works. It looks intimidating. It really flows well together. Obviously enough, there's the lime green here, but I mean, that can really just be taken off at any time. So you do have the silver. He doesn't have any blue pins, at least none that are noticeable, so that is a non-issue. He doesn't really have a whole lot of issue with articulation because the poses you're going to get him in, they're kind of non-standard. I mean, you're gonna have his arms up like that. He's going to be kind of down like this. His launcher can kind of fold up on his back. There's just a lot you can do with Krika, and it's really interesting because he doesn't have a whole lot of articulation. But that really works in his favor, because there's so much you can do with him, and he's great. He looks great, and he looks imposing. Some issues some may have with him is that he does have a very skeletal look, and that may just not be your cup of tea. That's perfectly fine. He doesn't have a whole lot of back armor, aside from the launcher, of course, and that happens. His head, because it is using the new On Makuta torso, his head will wobble from side to side along with the launcher, of course. And he's on pins and needles all the time. So if you don't like that kind of set, you know, these might bend if it's under too much weight, so on and so forth, you may want to be extra careful. So that generally sums up the there we go again, the Mistika Makuta. Real quickly before we end here, they were also advertised as combining with some of the Matoran. Now, obviously, there's no story purpose for this, but we do have those here. Bittle was advertised with good old Gobla over here. Come on. Come on. One more. Come on. Almost got it. There we go. So we do have that there. Krika was advertised with Kiro. That color scheme actually works decently well together. And oddly enough, Goras, the one with the most arms and legs, well, just arms, is advertised with the guy with the most unusual arms and legs, Radiac. Come on. Come on. All the connections are actually really weird. I wouldn't recommend you do this. I'm just doing this to show you guys. So there you go. Color schemes are nonsensical. The connections are really difficult to get on, but there you have it. So that generally sums up the Mistika Makuta. They're all actually really unique, and this was a tough decision to have them all in one video. I didn't really want to do this, but in order to kind of keep things concise and in line with the other Fantoka and Mistika videos, I had to. And it was either all for one or one for all. So, sorry guys. What do you guys think about these sets? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Which one was your first? Please feel free to let me know either in the comments below or on the TTV message boards at board.ttvpodcast.com. Please join me next time when I go over the mean, the not green. He's on a vehicle machine. I'm going to go over Voltraz. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all then.